If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives, and don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. Thanks to Tantaley for sponsoring today's episode. Tantaley has everything you need for your next self-care moment, with a wide range of high-quality companion dolls to fit any taste. So make sure to check out Tantaley and use code RUBYDAY to get 12% off your purchase. Realism redefined. You deserve the best experience. So lifelike, you'll be amazed at how real they feel. Welcome back, listeners. This is a new episode of Love Shots. I'm Ruby Day.
And I'm Olivia.
Friends with benefits. Oh my gosh. But I'm going to tell you, even the most mature sometimes have an issue with this.
Oh, no doubt.
And it's, maturity does play a factor, but it's really not the, pivotal point of having a successful FWB.
Yeah. I'm learning, and this is, I think, one of the first I've really, invested in, and I've had a few others, but they were more short term.
Yeah, and you only get so far with those.
They went so far, the NRE wore off, and we just kind of
fizzles and dies kind of like a firecracker.
Yeah, but the nice thing is I'm still friends with those people, and it's like, hey, we're still friends, but it's just platonic now. We went back to being platonic friends, and that's totally okay. But this one was like, this one's different, and I was like, well, I'm going to do something different because of those feelings and because of that, and I'm really glad I did, because honestly, it's actually really helped me, and I think it's helped him as well. I mean, it just seems like we got back to, we had a little bit of an uncomfortable moment there for a week or so, but after that, we got right back into the groove. And it's just like nothing ever changed,
Okay, that's monumental that you actually found another human being that can behave that way.
Yeah.
I'm normally that person with everybody else, and I can't tell you how many countless relationship dynamics I've had that weirds people out.
Yeah.
At how comfortable I am with just sliding in and out of it.
Yeah, I've heard that from people too. I've talked to a lot of other people who've done Friends with Benefits, and they're like, this is real, girl. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I know he's a keeper. He's a definitely keeper for Friends with Benefits, whatever dynamic that, and if it does eventually someday grow, I'm open, but the thing is, I'm actually really okay with keeping it right there.
But he's really a keeper for just keeping him as a friend.
Yes,
without
he really,
the friends
he really,
with
really
benefit.
Is.
I mean, that's
sweetie,
a rare thing to find just in a platonic friendship.
Yeah.
That you can go back and forth with those types of things.
Yeah, and I think sometimes in these modern relationships, a lot of people, we have busy lives, and we're being pulled all these different directions. And, when you actually have an actual relationship, and not that these aren't relationships, but when you actually have something that's more than friends with benefits, it seems like, there's a lot of extra time and responsibility that does go into that relationship, especially if you want it to work.
Lots of investment.
Yeah, an investment. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not that you're still not investing, and we're investing, but it's like we're recognizing, and like he said,
you're investing in the friendship.
Yeah.
Yes, there's benefits that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're investing in the friendship, and the dynamic changes. It's like, you'll have a few more leeways. Like, you're not expecting to hear from them every other day or once a week. And that's where that fluidity, I think, really benefits.
Yeah.
That's what I really loved. Because when I was in school and I had friends with benefits, like, I didn't want to bug them.
Yeah.
Or them bugging me all the time or even once a week. Because, honey, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I got shit I got to do. I have things I'm working on. My thought process is somewhere else. And whenever I wanted to see them or they wanted to see me, I'd just get a ring and be like, hey, are you available? I'm coming through town this day. Is that, are you available? Sometimes they wouldn't be, and they'd be like, no, it's not a good time for me. Yeah, I was disappointed. Don't get me wrong, because I'm like, I need my hookup.
Yeah.
Like, a girl needs to be taken care of.
Oh,
I just got out of finals, and I need a stress relief.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because then I just go to the next one. But, and sometimes they were like, yeah, that works for me. I'd be like, cool, I'll see you about this time, or I'll let you know when I leave town and about when I'm going to hit. It'll probably be, around the afternoon or early evening. They're like, cool. And that's it's hard to have that kind of casualness
Yeah.
with more invested relationships.
Well,
and that's something that,
yeah.
that's what I always enjoyed about the FWBs was how that dynamic works and how it can work successfully if you have people that can communicate with each other.
I think one of the big differences between like the story you just shared and some of your experiences that you've shared and I've listened to about your friends with benefits, because I was picking Ruby's brain because I was new to this. But one of the things that's very, very different, I think why we blurred lines is because we see each other once a week, every week. It's consistent.
And I have never had a friends with benefits that's that way.
And that's what this
is. It's normally like once a month or once every couple of months or whenever our schedule's freed up. We just always knew we could call each other. We kept semi in contact in between there. But it was just like touching base, like, what's new with you? What's just like a
it's
friendship.
more casual. It's like a little more casual. Now ours, once you got a routine going, you see each other every week. You got your date night, that you have. It starts feeling like a date. It starts feeling, and then we start doing other things, because you're seeing each other so frequently. You start having dinner together. You start going on walks together. You start doing activities, and of course, you're doing, you're getting the loving on as well. That's part of it. But we'll snuggle on the couch. We've got shows we're watching. We actually have some shows that we're literally. Wait to watch with each other. Yeah, I mean that's literally, we got like a couple of different series that we're watching.
That is so blurring the lines.
I know it is, and he knows it is, but we both like it and we both understand it, and we had to recheck in with each other, and I think that's really what matters. But we're having that experience, and he wants the same experience too, and I want that as well. So it's like it doesn't just feel like a show up, wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing.
Now see, that's how a lot of my friends with benefits were. My FWBs. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, we'd have pillow talk afterwards, catch up on each other's lives and, each other's weeks. Yeah. And that's how it took place. But it was pretty much, hey, I'm stopping by. You know what I'm stopping by for. I know what you want. So let's just take care of business. Yeah. And then after we relax, we can chit-chat a little bit.
Yeah.
And, we'd talk about our families or what's going on with our different lives and what was interchanging. But
it's just a little bit different dynamic, I think it is. But I think everybody has to design it their own way.
Well,
too.
I was going to say, and that's, you bring up an interesting point because you really have to, even with FWBs, you really have to make sure that you both are looking for a similar type of FWB and make sure that that's really clear when you start it.
Oh, yeah.
That you have those kind of meet and greet dialogues because not everybody wants that type of FWB.
Oh, you're right.
Because it confuses them too much.
Right.
And they steer away from those types of FWBs. And they just want the casual, you know what I'm showing up for. I know what you're here for. Yeah. So let's just take care of it. Because it keeps those lines really crisp, really defined, really in its place, and there's no question of what it is.
Well, I think that was the one thing that was different, because when we first met and we talked about the Friends with Benefits and what we were available for, the other thing that also came up was consistency. And he was looking for consistent. I was looking for consistent. I literally said, I said, that sounds great to me. I said, I'm thinking about once a week. And he said, that sounds good to me. And so right off the bat, we were like, once a week, there it goes. And we started working ourselves into each other's schedule and finding a day that works. And we've got a couple of days and we kind of rotate them back and forth, but it's literally once a week, and it's really, really a sweet deal, and I really, really like it. It allows me to get away from my other life.
Honey, that's getting your cake and eating it too with that combo. Like, how in the hell did you stumble across
I have no idea.
That right out of the blocks? I mean, every other FWB is going to be a disappointment from this point on.
Yeah.
You hit the golden egg right off the bat, and nothing is going to be able to compare near it.
I have actually worried about that because it's like literally I found this situation, and I know I'm grateful, and I realize this is a good one. It's a good one. And I've listened to other women. I've listened to your stories. Like, they don't work out that way. And so,
No.
I told him the other day, I said, we've spoiled each other on this whole situation. Yeah. I think it's done it to him too, but I definitely know it's spoiled me with it, and it's given me that perspective. But I'm really, really, I feel very fortunate and very grateful that I am having such an amazing first time, real exploration with a friends with benefits sort of thing like this, because the ones I had
like
before,
starting off your experience the right way, so you know what to look for for the next one or in the future when it comes, and that is such a gift, actually, because
it is.
It's kind of like when you first start dating, you want to have the good one to give you a parameter to know what it should look like, and then you want to have the bad one next.
Oh gosh,
so that
I don't want a bad one, but I hear you.
So that okay, here's my spectrum, and I know when to stay away from that not so good experience, and when I need to lean more towards the type of experience I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, it definitely has spoiled me, and I know, if I'm going to look for another one, I'm going to be like, I want it like that, but I also know that's setting the bar really high. May take some time. That's not, a lot of people aren't available for that type of friends with benefits too. I mean, that was something that even though he's not available for a full relationship,
he's not emotionally available.
Right, and he's got a lot of responsibility in his life right now that's pulling him in a lot of different directions, and I totally get it. I totally get it, and we all do. But he has some extra, and I get it. I totally get it. But I do really, really appreciate that he's like, hey, you know what? I like this. I do want something weekly, and I wanted something weekly as well, just to kind of get me out of my, my other life and my zone. That's like that, just kind of to clear the air and just get a break. A break from the normal routine.
I get it.
So it's been really, really wonderful. The other friends with benefits experiences that I've had in the past 6-7 months that was before him. They were just very different. They were more casual in the sense, like, they would just call me up randomly. It was more random, like, hey, what are you doing? Let's go out. Let me take you out. And then, we'd go out, we'd grab a bite to eat, and then we'd go back and have sex. And it was just kind of that kind of thing.
I never had a FWB take me out for dinner, ever. Ever.
I guess I'm a lucky girl. I don't know.
That just didn't. I don't know if it wasn't in their paradigm. Yeah. Or if it was more of, I knew what I was available for, and it was like, honey, I don't have time for that shit. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm not looking to date you. Yeah. So let's just take care of business, scratch each other's itch, have a good time, we enjoy each other's company, and let's move on with our life.
Well, I guess I was getting, honestly, I hear you. I totally hear what you're saying, and I was that was a spoiling one too, and I got a little spoiled in that one. But that, every time I got together with that individual, they took me out. They bought me dinner. They did wine and dine me. It did feel like a little pseudo date, but we all knew what it was, and it was total spontaneous. They were just like, it was just part of the thing. It's like, that's what they wanted to do. It's kind of set the stage. It set the romance. And so I think
that's what worked for them.
That's what worked for them. And I think that's the thing, it's who you look for. You got to ask yourself when you're out there dating or you're looking for friends with benefits, what is it you want to get out of this and find it? And when I started out,
what are you looking for yourself and finding someone that matches?
So I was looking for a meaningful connection. That's what I put on my dating profiles. I was like, hey, I'm open to friends with benefits, but I'm looking for a meaningful connection. And that is what drew, I think, these individuals. All of them said that stood out to them because they wanted something meaningful too. Yeah. Which meant it was a little bit more than just wham, bam, thank you, man, we show up for the deal. And I think, it was different for different people. The first individual is like, hey, I want to take you out to dinner and buy you dinner. And then we go have playtime. Yeah. The next one's like, no, I want you to come over to my house. I'll make you dinner. We'll have some chit chat. We'll go for a walk. We'll go have sex. Then we'll, and then it turned into, let's watch some shows. Let's find a show that we like, and it'll be our show. It'll be our show, and I'll wait. And it's like we'll watch it together. And I love that. It's just kind of like, you know what? That's really, really kind of cool. So I think it's how I went into the dating conceptual and how I put myself out there. Figure out what you want. Men and women, both, everybody out there. I think everybody figures out what they want.
But isn't that so true of any relationship? But all I want to say is, Honey, when you're done with that cake, I want a slice.
I hear you, girl.
I seriously want a slice.
But I tell you, this one right now, I don't want to be done with him. I don't want to be done at all. I really, really love it. I hope it lasts a long, long, long time. And I think he feels the exact same way, and it's just really, really working for us. So I see a future of just a long-term friends with benefits sort of thing. And that sounds like an adventure I'm ready to go on.
If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives. And don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review.